Evening, everyone. Welcome to Council and Committee meeting for Tuesday, September the 9th. Dean, call to order, please.
Mover and seconder, please.
Betty and Jennifer.
Moved by Councillor King, second by Councillor Gauthier, that the Council and Committee meeting of September 9th, 2025 be called to order at 5:30 p.m.
All in favor? Carried. Roll call, Dean, please.
Mayor Bennett.
Present.
Reeve Watt.
Present.
Councillor Gauthier.
Present.
Councillor Hewitt.
Present.
Councillor Hughley.
Present.
Councillor King.
Present.
Councillor Wren.
Present.
All members present.
Approve of the agenda. Keith and Brian.
Moved by Reeve Watt, second by Councillor Hughley, that the agenda of the Council and Committee meeting of September 9th, 2025 be approved as presented.
All in favor? Carried. Any disclosure of pecuniary interests? Seeing none. Delegations. I'd like to welcome Kristen Niemi and Jamie Thompson, please. Welcome to Laurentian Valley.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
I believe Jamie's not on it yet. Laurie, can you confirm? No, okay. Okay. Pardon? Yeah, please. Thank you.
Jamie is going to just watch the live stream presentation instead of joining us this evening. We have tried to do this where I'm in person and he's virtual, based out of Hamilton, and we've had some technical difficulties for some of the other presentations, and so he's going to sort of be here in spirit and watch the presentation afterwards. So thank you very much for giving me some time this evening. So my name is Kristen Niemi, and I'm the proud Director of Education with Renfrew County District School Board. And so our team did give a presentation to County Council mid-August about this project, and then we've been asked to come and give follow-up presentations to the Tier 1 municipalities, because this is actually where the resolution needs to be passed, and I'll get to the why in a couple of minutes. We can advance the slides. So in the last couple of, we can keep going. Thank you. Is this for me? Will it work?
No, that's just a pointer.
Oh, okay, never mind, because I could do it myself. So this past spring, we completed a comprehensive consultation for our new strategic plan that will go from 2026 to 2030. And through that process, and then also our annual budget consultations, the feedback's been overwhelming that we need to continue to prioritize student engagement and well-being. And we've done that in a variety of ways, and I will share with this group that even in times over the last few years where we've had to stretch our dollar even further, we have been increasing educational assistant and school support counselor support in our schools. We've also been working with experts that outside of the county that specialize in children's mental health and the types of strategies that would be effective for our students in our schools. But we also think we have to think like innovatively, and what else can we do to get upstream to support children's well-being and our students' well-being. And we already have a huge passion in Renfrew County for the outdoors. And when I visit the schools, the schoolyards, especially, actually, I can speak specifically about Rockwood Public School. My very first visit to the school as director, the kindergarten team there, all of the kindergarten staff were so proud to talk to me about the outdoor learning program that they have at Rockwood for kindergarten. And you know, we would love to take that enthusiasm for outdoor learning and just spread it across the whole board. We have other schools like Killaloe Public and Eganville who are partnering with Eco Schools Canada and really advancing environmental education in their schools, and they sort of get certifications. So Killaloe 2 years in a row has received platinum, which is the highest level of certification. And so board-wide, we're looking at expanding that partnership as well. So my role as a director, I'm looking at this thinking, we have so many educators who are passionate about outdoor learning, and we have children who would really benefit from being outside more, learning outside, because we know that for all of us, being outside is good for our mental health. And so been looking at partnerships, and so we have formed a partnership. We're the first school board in Canada to form this partnership with the Renature Foundation. They're a nonprofit organization. You can go to the next slide. They're a nonprofit organization in Canada that specializes in the design and construction of outdoor learning spaces in childcares, municipalities, and schools. And so we've formed this partnership, and they have one goal. They want to see outdoor learning spaces installed in every single school in Canada, and we're the first school board that they're starting with here in Renfrew County District School Board. So they see 4 main ingredients to supporting environmental education, having a forest for shade, an outdoor classroom to teach in, a mentor to support the educators in learning how to do that. It's not simple. We can't just put the space and say, go do that, go teach. It's learning how to teach the curriculum outside, and then the curriculum, and learning how to integrate that with the outdoors. So those are the 4 key ingredients that they're very passionate about. We could go to the next slide. This is a sample design of, what an outdoor learning space might look like. You could picture this looks like a rectangle, but we're sort of talking about a space that's about 75 feet by 75 feet. And in there, so about 3 to 4 classes could fit in a space that size outside. Then there are different areas in that space. In the middle, that's kind of like, there'd be a blackboard at the front, a teacher desk, and then benches that the students would sit on for whole class instruction. The top right is, maybe about, the teacher maybe with a small group of 7 or 8 students that could sit in a circle and do some small group instruction. And then there are other areas as well in the outdoor learning space. The whole intention is that the students are outside, they're moving, they're connecting with nature, and this can support inquiry-based learning and experiential learning or hands-on learning. We can keep going. So ReNature has 2 main roles. Their primary role is they're the ones that are the experts on the grants. They know of which grants we can access. So they are coordinating the applications to the different organizations that supply grants to support environmental education. If we're successful in getting all of the grants that we need to fund this project, then they will also take care of project management from beginning to end. So the design phase, the construction phase, then they will actually continue to partner with us for about 18 months after the spaces are built to provide professional development for our educators and to train our facility staff on the maintenance of these spaces. So they're playing a large role. Our role is to continue to advance this beyond, the time like where it's being built, and it's an ongoing and long-term commitment to environmental education and outdoor learning. And also from a financial perspective, our school board would be taking on about 20% of the cost of the project, and 80% would be covered by grants. So why am I here? I'm here because the main grant that we are trying to access is through the Federation of Canadian Municipalities. And FCM has a program called, and we can go to the next slide, Growing Canada's Community Canopies, the GCCC program. That's through FCM. And every municipality has access up to $10 million for this grant. But the catch is it's a 50-50 match. So for example, the Township of Laurentian Valley, if you wanted to apply for this grant, you would need to match whatever you're asking for with your own budget. And so what's happened is across Canada, there's a lot of money sitting in these grants unused right now. And so FCM has had a conversation, like some discussions with ReNature to say, we would be open to places like a school board accessing the grant if the municipality supports it. So for example, for the township so I put it in bold, there's no cost to you, the municipality or the township. What we're looking for is a passed resolution so that we can submit an application. ReNature actually submits it on our behalf. So we're looking at doing this project across 19, essentially every single elementary school in Renfrew County District School Board that has kindergarten to grade 6 students, and that's on our property. So that's 19 elementary schools. And those 19 elementary schools span 13 municipalities. So we're seeking passed resolutions from 13 municipalities to submit these applications by the September 15th deadline. And you're the second last one, which is perfect. And so, for example, Rockwood Public School is the one school that's in the Township of Laurentian Valley. So what we're asking for from you is your support in applying for $50,000 from FCM as a grant out of the $10 million that you have access to. So it's a very small percentage of the total grant that we're asking to be able to use for our schoolyards. So that's why I'm here, because the primary grant is through FCM and it requires your support through a passed resolution. And so in terms of next steps, September 15th is the deadline for this grant application. And then Renature is looking at other grant opportunities to top us up to 80%, and then we would kick in the 20%. So once, if and when we receive approvals for the grants, then we would look to go through the design phase in the early spring and put the shovel in the ground next summer, and then have these spaces built by the fall of 2026 in our schools. So thank you for your time today.
Oh, no, thank you. Very informative. It sounds very exciting for the students.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And teachers.
Absolutely.
Any questions of council? Patty?
It sounds like an amazing project and a great opportunity for the kids. Absolutely. So once these are all built and they're all put in place, how, as far as maintenance and cost afterwards, will that then go back into taxes or that type of thing? Like, does it come back to the municipalities at that point?
No, not at all. So we have different funding sources for the in the education sector, and we would be building the maintenance costs into our budgets at the school board level. Yeah.
And what about, we're into this, and like I said, it's fantastic. But what about play structures? Is that kind of the way of the past? The school board's not helping with new play structures at the schools anymore? Just,
Yeah.
we're hearing a lot of people looking for funding and fundraising and that kind of thing. So just wondering if that's kind of out of your budget now.
It's an excellent question. Essentially, the Ministry of Education makes the rules about what we can spend our dollars on. And so we have what's called core education funding, which funds, staff and the resources for the classroom, the lights, everything that we need to operate schools. And then we have capital funding, which is essentially, renovations that we make to our facilities. And then we have grants that are specific for, there might be a math grant or a early reading grant, that type of thing. None of those three are allowed to be used on playground structures. And that's the challenge. And that's why often, and I know Rockwood just went through this, a lot of fundraising, and they do now have, so it's not that we don't want to pay for it, it's that our rules with the funding sources that we get from the Ministry of Education don't allow for it. And that's why school councils fundraise for those, and with a huge amount of support from all of our communities, which we greatly appreciate. But Rockwood did just get a new playground set, as well as a few other schools, so.
Right, and I understand that because we've been working with the Parent-Teacher Association,
Yeah.
if you call them that, and Chris, our Community Development Officer, is actually looking for grants because I understand there's 2 more play structures that have to be built at Rockwood. So I know that they've worked very hard and they've probably gotten most of the money that's out there from community supporters, so I know that we're trying to work with them on that, so.
We appreciate those partnerships, absolutely. Thank you.
Wendy?
I think it's a fantastic initiative as well. I can speak specifically to Rockwood because I remember when that outdoor initiative actually went into place, and the lady that was ahead of it actually is a part of our Fit and Feisty, Kathy Fredericks. She's the one that actually started that.
Nice.
And it was really amazing to see, because I was a part of the school board at the time, to see the kids. Some kids, you wouldn't believe it, actually don't even get outside, some of the homes they come
Yes.
from.
Yeah.
And so it's very important to have these playground areas for the children. And I think it's a wonderful initiative.
Thank you.
Okay, Dean, we have a motion?
Yes, we do. Move on to second, please.
Alan and Wendy?
Moved by Councillor Wren, second by Councillor Hewitt, that whereas the Corporation Township of Laurentian Valley has the following interests: improving our schoolyards by creating outdoor learning spaces and tree canopy environments, whereas the Renature Foundation is undertaking the Canadian Renature School Program, which will be building outdoor learning spaces and planting trees at elementary schools in Renfrew County District School Board. Be it resolved that the Council of Township of Laurentian Valley acknowledges that the Renature Foundation is applying for funding opportunity from the Federation of Canadian Municipalities Growing Canada's Community Canopies Initiative for the Canadian Renature School Program, which will be building learning spaces and planting trees at elementary schools in Renfrew County District School Board in partnership with the Corporation of the Township of Laurentian Valley. The Corporation of the Township of Laurentian Valley also recognizes that a lifetime contribution from the Growing Canada Communities Canopy initiative will not exceed 10 million for tree planting within our municipality, inclusive of a maximum of 1 million for infrastructure activity costs, and that if approved, this project will be counted towards that limit.
All in favor? Carried.
Thank you very much for
Now,
your support.
And Do you want us to send you a copy of the resolution?
That would be lovely, yeah.
Yeah, got that, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we will be sending out updates about this project and whether or not we're successful with these grant applications, and we'll keep you updated. Okay?
We
Thank
wish
you very
the
much.
best. Thank you. Next we have up is Elizabeth.
As a Rockwood mom, that is so exciting. Love it. Okay, good evening, everyone. So glad to be here along with Debbie Lubitz, our treasurer, to present to you on some of the activities that the Allison Fraser Rec Center has undertaken in 2025 and what we want to try to get done in 2026. Next slide. Okay, so our committee, this will be a refresher on our committee. Since last time I spoke to council, hasn't changed. So myself as chair, and I'm also acting as secretary. Betty King is our council representative, Debbie Lubitz our treasurer, and then our committee members, Adele Ashik, Charmaine Micah, and Luke Murphy. We have a paid facility manager, Merle Beam, and I have an update on that position on the next slide. We also have a contract cleaner, a student that operates the canteen for us during the summer, and then the various activities at the rec center are supported by a large group of volunteers and community groups. So in anticipation of our longtime facility manager, Merle Beam, his retirement, October 1st of this year, we prepared a formal job description for that position, did a job posting, held interviews, and Blake Crozier was the successful candidate for that position. So he's already started. He's a Laurentian Valley community member. He's played ball at the rec center for a number of years, so he has that connection to the community, to the rec center. And we've really used the last couple months to have Merle hopefully transfer some of that knowledge and experience over to Blake. So we certainly look forward to working with Blake as he takes on this new role. And I really want to take this opportunity to acknowledge the commitment that Merle Beam has had at the Allison Fraser Rec Center for over 30 years. His dedication to the facility and its programs have really made a difference in our community. And I thank him for his many years of hard work. And I know he has great plans for retirement. And we just truly wish him the best as he enters that next phase of his life. We also updated our constitution, or what I like to refer to as our terms of reference. So that really just outlines the different roles the committee members have, outlines our rules for election, things like that. So with that in place now, I hope to use that to recruit some new membership for the committee. Resurfacing of the playground was completed. That was a project that was undertaken by the township, but we were grateful to have that completed. I don't have a picture of it, but I believe there's a picture of it in Nevada's presentation or her report later on. Next slide. So some of the things we did undertake in 2025, hall lighting. So that was replacement of the hall lighting in upstairs and downstairs, I believe. So that was converting it to LED. But the other thing this did was the old light fixtures were really brittle. So every time you went to remove them to clean them and get the flies out and stuff, they would break. So this will allow for easier cleaning, and we'll also see those energy savings as well from the LED lighting. Next slide. The grading in front of the garage was completed and asphalt was added. So that just, well, it looks really good and just makes for easier and safer access to the garage. Fit and Feisty, through their funding, were able to install a dishwasher in the upstairs kitchen at the rec center, so they'll be able to use that at their events, and that will help them reduce, single-use disposable items that they have to use, so they'll be able to use that for like their Coffee Connect and their bigger events. So that's been installed, and I believe it's operational. Yeah, so that's great. Ball is very busy at the rec center, so we have 4 leagues that run out of the facility. So a mixed adult league, a women's league, a men's league, and minor ball. Minor ball this year had 238 registrants, I believe. So these are all run by outside volunteer organizations or conveners. So they're not actually run by the rec center, but of course their activities are supported by the facility manager in terms of preparation and management of the fields. as well as our volunteers as needed, with the canteen or operated by the students or our staff, the bar by our volunteers, that kind of thing. So ball is like 4 nights a week from May till into September and October. It's, you know, there's a game pretty much from 5:30 till 11 o'clock at night sometimes. So there's lots of ball tournaments that happen throughout the year, including 3 large school tournaments that are held every year in June as well. Next slide. So there's just some images of the ball diamonds. The top one is the Ladies League, played last week. That's my team. We're in the finals tonight. So, and then minor ball at bottom. So yeah, ball is very busy at the rec center, which is great. Yeah. Carnival, everyone's familiar with our carnival event that we hold every year. So this event is really supported by a larger group of volunteers that, you know, host events. So like Four Seasons Trail, Fit and Feisty, they'll put on events during carnival, but the carnival itself is overseen by the rec center committee. And we try to add new events to it every year, keep it fresh. But as we're all aware, this has been a wonderful, you know, family event that happens every January. So we're looking forward to that event coming up in the new year. Fall Flavors, again, another event that's really grown in the last number of years. It's really kind of more from like a beer sampling event to, you know, a family fall festival. So we're looking forward to having that again September 20th. So that's just a couple weekends away. Our children's Christmas party that we hold every December. So this is sponsored by Allison Fraser Minor Sports, and we always ask for food donations. So the kids come, we have a pizza party, and they just play some music and dance and have some different activities for them. So it's always a well-attended event. Next slide. Our outdoor rink, so there's no like formal leagues that run out of the rec center, but it gets used pretty heavily. So there's users like minor hockey, say from Pembroke, will book it for like practices and things like that. Last year the rec center committee was able to do like a youth pickup league. I think we were able to squeeze 3 or 4 weeks in of that. It's, you know, public skating, birthday parties, family events. It gets well used in the winter. So this is probably one of the things we're most nervous about, to lose Merle's experience in making and maintaining the ice. So we're really hoping that he'll be available for input come winter. And just to showcase a couple other events that, again, are organized by the rec center but are hosted or held there. So, of course, the township and the county held Taste of the Valley in August. And I think it was just a really good to showcase what larger events can look like at the rec center. So there was lots of vendors set up on the ball field as well as the parking lot. The parking lot in between the diamonds. You know, what parking for a large event looks like. Chris had it all laid out and mapped out and things. So just a unique event that's held at the rec center, which was great. Another example of that is the car show. So this is organized by Wheels of the Valley and Fit and Feisty. So it's been held the last 2 years. And again, another well-attended event. Just showcasing, you know, the different applications of events at the center. You know, we have a lot of space at that facility, and it can certainly be utilized for big events like that. And then we have other user groups. So we have 2 horse clubs that operate out of the rec center, the volleyball leagues, and the regular hall rentals. We have many hall rentals that return every year. And these, again, a lot of these activities are run by associations or organizations outside the rec center, but are supported by the facility manager in prepping the ring and the arenas and things. So. And of course, Fit and Feisty is our largest user group. As you know, the Allison Fraser Rec Center is a hub for many of their activities, including Coffee Connect and pickleball, their music jam. They had the first music jam today. So, I mean, we all know, you know, what Fit and Feisty brings to the community and what they're doing for community members. So we look forward to continuing to work with them on their different events and activities. Next slide. Some of the things we want to tackle in 2026. Our bathrooms really need updating. They're just starting to show their age. They could use, you know, some paint, some repairs. Some of the taps will be replaced as part of some accessibility upgrades that we're working with the township on. But we definitely hope to do a bit of a refresh on those. These are the washrooms that are in the upstairs hall, so they get heavily used for the different events that take place. Next slide. Our bleachers are also in, I guess, poor repair. So we have 8 sets of bleachers around the 3 ball diamonds. And as you can see, some of the boards are starting to wear. And it's likely some of these don't meet safety requirements right now. So we're hoping to replace some of the boards to give them a little bit more life, but we really need to start kind of probably a 2 to 3 year project where we're, replacing those. I think we received quotes and they were in the $4,000 range just to replace one unit. So we'll have to do it over a few years to get them all replaced. But that's something that the committee really feels we need to do, for safety, really. Next slide. And we'd love to update our poor little water fountain. We are a recreation, a physical activity facility, and we actually get requests for this. Where can I fill up my water bottle? So we'd like to get, Shady Nook has one where you can fill up your reusable water bottle, and I think it has a fountain too, but we'd like to get one there. And I think we got a quote, it was in the $3,000 range, I think, to get that. So something that we want to do as well. And I don't know if we'll get it within our budget next year, but something that's on our radar is just a facelift for the outside of the building. This is the hall, the main hall, so the side of the hall that faces the ball diamonds. It needs to be painted, so I'd like to start that or get that on our radar to start planning to do that. This is our budget. It's a bit hard to read on the screen there, but you can see we a wish list of a increase in our grant from the township, but then that would be offset by the expense to replace the bleachers, really. So, any questions, comments?
I think you guys are doing a fabulous job out there. Well, kudos to you and your committee and all the volunteers. It is number one.
Yeah,
for sure.
well,
Doing a great job.
Yeah, thank you. We'll pass that along to everyone for sure. Yeah, it's definitely busy, yeah, it'll be interesting to see the transition with the new facility manager. Merle just has so much experience and knowledge of that facility. And so, yeah, we've worked really hard to transfer some of that knowledge and experience, not only to the committee members and the new facility manager as well.
Well, you just have to keep them within 50 kilometers for the
Yeah.
next couple of years.
Yeah, he
right? You
did
can't go
say,
outside that.
yeah, Merle did say, I'll answer a phone call from you, Elizabeth. I'm sure he said that, so I hope he does. I'm sure he will.
Wendy,
I was just going to say, it seems like a small center. If you just drive up and there's nothing going on, you think it's just a little tiny place.
Yeah.
But when you attend some of the events, compared to bigger events that I've been to in bigger cities, like you guys do a fantastic job.
Yeah.
I think it's like a very well-oiled machine.
Yeah.
And there's so much going on for such a small area.
Thank you,
Wonderful.
appreciate that.
okay, anybody else? Okay, that's good.
Great.
It's good.
Okay,
Thank
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thanks for taking time to come out.
Absolutely.
And when do we finalize? It'd be
We're just-
budget time, right?
Yeah, budget time, yeah.
Okay, all right. Benita, please, Pleasant View.
Good evening. So I'm Benita, the chair of this committee, for a
Oh, can you turn your mic on?
Push the button.
There you go. So once again, it's Benita. We have a very, very simple park, as you know. We actually have a piece of land that belongs to the Renfrew County District School Board, right? So we're very careful with how we use the land and what we're allowed to do. We've had it for many, many years now. So as you know, we celebrated our 40th last October, which I reported to you previously, which was a huge, huge success. So we decided, we have a committee of 7. We decided that this year we're going to be very quiet. It's going to be a quiet year, and we will plan another family celebration again next year. We were even talking about doing something on Canada Day if it doesn't collide somewhat with the city of Pembroke. But since our last celebration was so successful, we'd like to do it again, but next year. So Betty, thank you very much for being our rep. And again, I have 7 people on our committee. One of the things that we accomplished in 2025 was transferring a Gaga Ball pit from the Children's Garden. The nursery school donated the Gaga Ball pit to Pleasant View Park, and Brother Gary delivered it and set it up. So we have a new area for the children to play. Also, we're sad to say that we had to get rid of some trees. And, we're so short of shade at Pleasant View Park. So 4 huge trees were taken down, thanks to the township. They were diseased. And so we're still waiting for a response from the township and any others who would have trees available. I was aware that there might be some available, and we put in our application for numbers of trees for shade. We also are, in our dreams, as it's stated on the slide, our dream would be to create a gazebo. So I put in some requests to some of the high schools. They used to do those kinds of things. We would supply the materials, and the schools would take their shop classes and so on and build. I haven't heard back from them yet, but it's our dream to certainly very soon have a larger shade structure. So with trees and the shade structure, those are our dreams for the future. One of our committee members is Jason McLeod. His big dream is to recreate the basketball net and have it look somewhat like the basketball court at Fellows High School. So again, that will take a lot of money and a lot of planning, a lot of funding. So it's something I'd like to eventually talk to Chris about a bit more. We have a neighborhood watch family, and I met with them today. There's vandalism happening again, and it seemed to happen when, first of all, in June when school was ending, and now in September when school is starting. There was no vandalism over the summer. So we're watching that. I'm really lucky to have that family nearby. We were warned too at our last rec meeting not to become involved with anybody who's vandalizing our property, but to phone 911. So we're back at that again. So we hope that it'll soon end. Other than that, we've had neighborhood people help us with our flower beds. We've removed some of the old signs. I'm very appreciative of the new sign that's up. And we are asking for the same amount of money that we received last year. Nothing major really for us. I think it was $4,000 a few years ago. It was up to $5,000 last year, and we're very happy with that, which will then maintain our lawn, because we hire somebody to actually mow the lawn and to maintain our lawnmower, and just those kinds of things around our very simple green space. And that's my report.
Well, thanks very much, Benita. Appreciate again all the support from the volunteers that keep that park going, and there is a fair amount of activity that goes on there, so it's great to see.
There is. Thank you very much.
Okay. Any questions for Benita or comments, or Betty?
Just a comment, Benita. I know you're looking for a gazebo. Have you reached out to Allison Fraser Minor Sports?
I have not. I've reached out to Rotary. They have a wonderful gazebo there, so we have a connection with them in regards to that's the kind of gazebo we'd like. And to the 2 gentlemen sitting behind, they were connecting to in regards to gazebo. But if you could send me that information, I will do that.
Just
Thanks,
send it
Betty.
to me and I'll pass it along. I sit on that committee as well.
That would be great, because I think it's really important that we start thinking. I mean, again, we're losing so many trees now. We've lost 4 gigantic trees, and 1 more is dying. I
Send me your
noticed today.
proposal and your information and I'll pass it on for you.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks very much, Benita.
Thanks.
And we have Curtis, Forest City Park.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and council members. Yes, so this is our budget report we just did up. We've been a little busy this year, but myself and, I'm president, and Bert's VP there. Our other members couldn't attend, so. So just the budget report going over what we were doing. So we were given 8,000 there last year, what we were requested. We've put in a new gazebo and had received $1,500 from Allison Fraser Minor Sports, which was really nice. It had helped us out with the one gazebo, so we had taken that down, and it was being vandalized and stuff too. So it took a bit of a beating, and the other one too. We took the one down that was more severe, and we're looking at in the fall later to grab a excavator there, like a little mini X, to clean up the area a little bit more with the trees in the back. And while we do that, we're going to take the other one down for next year in the spring to put up the other gazebo. So we also painted pickleball lines there on our court, and Brian Hoogley also donated some nets there. He dropped some nets off to us there, or Shady Nook. Sorry, yes. Sorry, you were the delivery man. But he was nice enough to drop off the nets for us, so we're working with that. But we got an increase for winter summer solutions for lawn maintenance, because For next year, reason being is the field down below, we're gonna try to utilize that for the soccer for next year. We're not planning on any big league things. We like to keep it like kind of quiet, local, and maybe that's more of a future thing there. Oh yeah, sorry, yeah, this is for next year. So we're requesting 6,000, and 6,000 only being that Winter Summer Solutions, the value has gone up there for cutting the grass, and the new gazebo we're putting up, as well as the trees and shrubs, which we plan to actually do that later this fall. But if we don't get to it because of work, we'll finish that off in the spring. And we're looking at doing a storage shed too, just to put some things in there. Just cutting like whippersnipper and stuff, just to kind of have there to clean things up. And the Mini X, we're gonna do a rental there to clean the tree, plant some more trees, and do some of the maintenance around the park. So, but yeah, and that's our projected for the following year. But yeah, anything else? No, it's
Well,
pretty
thanks very
basic
much,
where we are,
gentlemen.
so.
It's very appreciative again. Volunteers, you guys run this. I'm sure the neighborhood really enjoys it. Yes, Brian?
Did you get the soccer area mowed yet?
We got Winter Summer Solutions to do a pass-through, but they had quoted us like the 1,500 for like 2 or 3 months. So we're looking, yeah.
We're gonna wait till next year.
Yeah.
It's gotta be included in next year's budget, but
Yeah.
they wanted 1,500 just to cut it the one time, just because it's so
Yeah.
long.
Yeah, we cleaned it up, but then we have to paint the all the stuff too. So
That's what I was just wondering, is once it was mowed, did you find that there was rocks and holes?
no.
that you're gonna-
So the previous years, like that's why it's nice to have the netting and all that down there, because it's fairly flat. So future projects, we're actually looking at doing, because we have the trail that we have around there, but we're also looking at doing like a little walking path. Everybody kind of goes along there, especially. It'd be nice around that. So kind of like a circular walking path for people to go down, and then the soccer net's kind of in between. So it's more of a future thing. So we're trying to get more committee members too involved in the neighborhood. It's a little bit of a challenge for the volunteering, but Bert and I seem to manage. So.
Are you only a
far.
membership of 2?
No, so we have
Okay.
4, but
Four. Okay.
Chantel Carrier and Megan Robin.
Okay.
Megan Robillard,
Yep.
principal at
They do
Fellows.
the admin part, and we do the labor.
The labor, yeah, the back, yes. But yeah, we're planning, like, we want to get the trees in later this fall. We couldn't do it with the 40-degree weather we just had this summer, so it's, and then we were gone with work a lot too, so. It's
So right now, the skating trail is looking for volunteers, and Nevada's helping out with the advertising, and we're going
Okay.
public and doing some advertising. So maybe down the road or early spring or whenever you want, maybe you could touch base with Nevada, and
To
maybe
push
she
out a
help you
little
out with, trying to get some more committee members.
Okay, yeah, it's
That
something.
option might be there
too.
for you.
But yeah, that's for us, just our basic report there for you guys.
Okay.
We don't have any leagues going on there or anything, and we don't really plan to. We like the quiet.
No.
But we found that, like, I go there a lot with my kids, and we find that it's being used a lot more too. Even with the pickleball, we drew the lines on the court, the paint lines, and yeah, even the trail is being utilized a lot by people. So, but yeah,
Well, good for you guys. Thank you very much.
yeah.
It's an amazing little park. It's tucked back in there
It's
that you
hidden,
don't
yeah.
even know, and yeah, you've got to get out of your vehicle to really
Yeah, to
appreciate
see
it.
Maybe just a comment that I see we can see on your information tonight that you did a monument for George.
Yes.
I think that's pretty cool.
Yes, and we plan to have like an opening for it there,
Okay.
to have his wife out too, and obviously some of you guys to come out
Yes,
and do
for
that.
sure.
But we plan to just clean up some of the trees that had fallen with the wind and all that.
Okay.
Just it's utilized right now. There's nothing, but we just want to clean it up just a bit before that.
A number
to
of
make it nice.
current council members sat with George, so.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Great
he's
guy.
Very yeah.
Okay, Betty.
One quick comment. Each of our parks has their own little niche and their own little specialty and all the rest of it. But thank God for all the volunteers that come out. Like, you guys are amazing. Each park has their own team, which has great ideas and great enthusiasm, so hats off to all you guys.
Thank you.
Okay,
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
so up next is is Laurie, right? So up next on the agenda is the Shaw subdivision, request for extension. Laurie?
Yes, so this is actually the first request for extension of draft plan approval for this subdivision. They did have a little bit of an extra time frame because they had redlined the plan, so the county had extended that time. So again, as you know, most council would be aware, unfortunately, Mr. Shaw did pass away not too long ago, but the family is continuing with finalizing this subdivision, and there's been good strides in that regard. So, the anticipation is that perhaps we won't need the full of this time, but that at least the extension for the year is being requested, and then the process is that we then, if council is supportive of that, we send that support resolution through to the county, and the county would be the ones then issuing that extension.
Alan?
Whereabouts are we in this, Lori? I was under the impression that this one was basically completely done. I was amazed to actually see it on here requesting an extension. I thought the last meeting we had on this, everything was completely done.
So with this subdivision, there were a lot of different complexities, different than many others that we've had to deal with. And so most of these issues, they weren't things that were related to either the county or the township. There were ongoing processes related to Endangered Species Act, and then also there's a different approach with the road as well, that it will be a condominium road, and so there's some different legal procedures that were being followed with that. And again, the understanding it, like we have seen some other information come through that definitely things are moving forward, that again, I believe things are very close. It just, again, unfortunately with Mr. Shaw's passing, that also, provided a little bit of a delay. But again, I'm hopeful that this will be the one and only extension.
Okay, we got a motion?
Yep.
Jennifer and Betty?
Moved by Councillor Gauthier, second by Councillor King, that the Council of Township of Laurentian Valley supports the request for an extension to draft plan approval from the County of Renfrew subdivision file number 47T 18,005 Shaw subdivision from October 2025 to October 2026, and request the county grant an applicant's request and approve an extension to draft plan approval for subdivision file 47-18-005 Shaw subdivision.
All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Second one, Laurie, is the deeming bylaw for lot 23 and block 26.
Yes, so this is related to actually an application that's for a lot addition. Because the lands that were involved were formerly part of a plan of subdivision, it does require, in order to have the lands basically stick together in title, that the subdivision that was created needs to be for those properties that are involved. We essentially need to break the subdivision approval that's for there. And how you do this is the municipality needs to pass a bylaw deeming it not to be lots or blocks within a plan of subdivision. And then this will allow the lawyers to do the rest of the part that they would need with the certificate. So it would be issued from the county for the severance for the lot addition. It's basically reshaping, two existing parcels. And in terms of the process, we haven't had to do this too often, but how it does then work is if council then is supportive and a bylaw is passed, there's actually then a notice that's sent out to the property owner with an appeal period. And in this case, it's the property owner that is asking for it, so it's more of a technical administrative appeal period. But in a situation where a municipality was deeming it not to be a lot, the reason that they get notice is because it would then have things merge, so in case the property owner had a concern with it merging.
Okay, questions? Motion? Brian and Keith?
Moved by Councillor Ugly, second by Reeve Watt, that the Council and Committee approves a request to deem Lot 23 on Plan 529 and Block 26 on Plan 529 Alice not to be lots or blocks in a plan of subdivision in order to facilitate County Renfrew application for consent for lot addition file number B4624 and forwards bylaw 2025-09-033 as presented to the bylaw portion of September 23rd, 2025 regular council meeting for adoption.
All in favor? Carried. Thanks, Larry. Subcommittees, Pembroke and Area Airport, Alan.
Just a couple of things. It was good. It was good today to see the owners of TMM and be at their grand opening today and talk to them. We always wonder what the airport does for economic development in the Upper Ottawa Valley. Well, the owners managed to save 10 hours by flying into our airport. We talked to them today after lunch at about 2 o'clock, and he said, yeah, we'll probably be back home by 3 to Niagara-on-the-Lake. So that's one of the things that having an airport in this area can do to bring people in and out, and a lot of people in the area don't know that happens, and it happens quite often. The other thing is that just in the last month, we've managed to secure a lease at the airport for about 3 acres of land for 2 years with Hydro One. So they're just going to use it for a staging area for a big project that's going to happen in the Petawawa area. So we've managed to sign that lease with them this week.
Good. Anything for Alan? Seeing none, emergency management, Laurie? Should have stayed.
Yeah, just that we are moving forward with our work towards compliance, and tentatively the date of October 23rd is when we will be doing some training and exercise in combination with the county.
Could be here that day?
I'm not sure, we're in discussions.
Okay.
I've been told.
Chief Tim. Are you next?
Okay,
Sorry.
no.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, you're right. Report motion extension of term for engineers for Pleasant View Municipal Drain. Sorry, Brett.
No, that's no problem. Hopefully it'll be fairly quick. The fortunate thing is you guys were all involved right from the start, so you kind of know. We appointed DM Wills to do a review of the Pleasant View drain. Under the Drainage Act, after 1 year, we're supposed to have the report. We're close, but not there yet, so we need to give an extension just to stay in compliance. I can say they gave me fairly short notice, so some of the notices I hand-delivered last week, but they were in on the 4th and did a environmental review of the outlet at Heritage Place. And I've heard from some other residents that got the notices by mail that they are currently doing survey work from Taylor Heights right down to the outlet as well. So the plan was to have that finished by the end of this week. Obviously, they seem to be on schedule with that. So that will mean hopefully within 2 months, we should have the final report, and then can move forward with discussions on which routes we're going to take, and plan for budgets and all that kind of stuff. Again, a lot of it will be recovered under the drainage assessment, but there will be some municipal costs as well because it benefits our roads, etc. And the other part is, selfishly speaking, next year's looking pretty busy. Like Alan said, with TMN, they're ready to go, and we spoke to the builders today as well. So having this project and that at the same time, I'm hoping we get a good start early. But other than that, if there's any questions.
So Brett, this takes into the review which we've had the neighbors at some of the open houses in behind Heather and that whole area?
Yes, yeah, it's the whole drainage area. We've also authorized outside of the municipal drainage portion, we've authorized some reviews of some other trouble areas that weren't covered as under the watershed. So we will get some recommendations and costing and stuff on that. Unfortunately, that portion won't be covered under the assessment, so, but at least we'll have a educated, engineered opinion on what to do, and Public Works can budget and plan for how to tackle those areas.
It's just a little unfortunate it's taking longer because, as we know, along Irma, there's been a lot of issues with drainage in the spring.
Yeah.
And flooding, and so we gotta go another year through that, which is a little frustrating, but,
Yeah, I mean, fortunately, we had a dry
yeah, for sure.
summer, fall, so hopefully that will, I mean, there's no telling what we'll have in the winter, but hopefully that will help alleviate some of the spring. And I mean, it's an ongoing problem, so it is unfortunate it dragged out, but there is an end in sight at least, and, you know, we're doing things right this time by exploring the whole process over again. And
I guess just to add to that, I mean, I think what happened too, that kind of slowed it down, but for a good reason, was the open house. They got a lot of comments, and they're going through each and every comment to make sure, you know, they're addressing it. We're gonna get the report. That doesn't mean yet that the work is done either, so we're not quite there to get stuff remediated, but we're working towards it, and, because there is a lot, I mean, we all know behind there's some development potential too, so we don't wanna, you know, do something there that impacts that, or maybe they're gonna fix what we're doing too, so there's a whole bunch, there's a lot of irons in the fire here, so hopefully we do it once and get it done right, and, you know.
yeah,
So we figure the final report would be out by,
Hard to
I
say,
can't speak for them, but
Okay.
I would expect, based on communication, end of October.
oh, okay.
But
Now,
then we gotta
again,
go back to
again,
the
that's,
public then.
yes,
Yeah, for
again,
sure.
that's just their
Public
report.
meetings and,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. No,
But it will
We
move
should draft.
forward.
We should get a draft.
The other, I guess, good part of this, which was in the report, is they've stayed on budget, so it's taken longer, but we are basically where we budgeted for last year when we did the proposal, so
Okay.
there were no surprises that way.
Good. Anything for Brett? No?
Just before Brett leaves the chair, and I know it's on the agenda a little further, but just don't want him leaving, I just want to, you know, we're just recognizing that Brett has completed his part 3 of the Certified Property Standards Officer Training Program, so we congratulate him on getting that.
Thank you.
So there'll be no excuses in not doing the property standards.
No, I've initials behind my name, other than that, it doesn't change a whole lot, so, yeah.
Anyway,
But thank you.
Congrats.
Brett, when are they cloning you?
When are they
Yeah.
voting? Yeah.
Yeah,
I do,
it'll be interesting to see where it goes from there.
Yeah. Okay, I also have a motion for the Pleasant View drain, please.
Okay, who's next? Wendy? And Nell?
Moved by Councillor Hewitt, second by Councillor Wren, that the council provide an extension for a 1 year to DM Wills Associates Limited, who were appointed by motion RM 2406083 in accordance with Section 78 of the Drainage Act.
All in favor? Okay. Okay, chief, you got nowhere to go now but here.
Oh, yeah.
Get some chairs on wheels.
I know.
That's what the guys at the fire hall keep telling me. Tell them I want me to get one of those little genie carts or something.
Don't give them any ideas. You put
No,
in
I
the
know.
budget.
Well, there's 3 months, of course, because we haven't had any meetings, and realistically, this year obviously is back in line. The calls are about the same, but thank God we haven't had a whole bunch of structure fires and stuff like that, so, excuse me, so it's been a pretty good year that way. Other than that, there's lots of things going on in the fire business. It's keeping me busy. I'm going to bring you up to date on a few of them. First of all, you all know that we have to be certified by July 1st, 2026, okay? So we were down to 2 people, and then I lost a couple people. Now I'm down to 4, so, but we're in pretty good shape right now. The problem is that I don't think you're ever gonna be 100% compliant because everybody has turnover, okay? So, I mean, you work away at it, and so that's fine. What has happened is there's now municipalities are starting to say that that's enough. We can't afford all this, okay? Turn this stupid thing off. That because right now it's not costing a lot because a lot of us were put through on the legacy or the grandfather clauses and all the different things. But in 4 or 5 years from now, it's going to be a major cost to keep everybody trained to the standards. And the other problem is that you're going to have trouble getting people. Okay, like I can foresee that because there's lots of people, and I'm hearing it from chiefs in the area and other places that there's lots of guys that want to come and they want to help and they want to be on the fire department, but they're not going to go through all the training. Okay, and it's quite obvious that it's for a long-term goal. This is not going to pan out very well for the municipalities. But anyway, so some of the municipalities have started to send letters to the OFM stating that they're not going to participate in the program, okay? I don't know how the ball is, it has started rolling. I talked to we had a meeting Monday night with the OFM. I talked to her and she said, yeah, it's starting, municipalities are starting to send letters and say it started in the north because of obviously the cost and then so I just wanted to bring it to your attention. I don't know where to go with it. I really do think 5 years down the road, like for instance, when you get your changeover or whatever, it's going to get too costly, you know, because I mean, the other problem here is when they closed the college, what was that, 7, 8 years ago, they promised us that we'd have a regional training center, okay, in Renfrew County. We have no regional training center. So then what that would mean is that we could send somebody, like let's say they need to take a 2 or 3 day course. We could send somebody to the 2 or 3 day course. They could come home at night, all right? If I send anybody now, I got to send them to Mississippi Mills. So that means we got to pay travel, lodging. I mean, it's $5,000 before you're done, all right? And you start getting, let's say we went through 10 a year, that's $50,000, okay? If that much. So and I mean, that's at today's cost, you know, so it's just going to go nothing but get worse and worse. And so I really think that I think they're pushing it too far. I mean, if there had been reason for all this, if there was some kind of reason for it, but when you ask them the reason, nobody seems to have a reason when you have to ask the OFM, because I know when it first came out at the Chiefs conventions and stuff, they said, well, why? Oh, well, because we want everybody to be trained to the same. Well, everybody was trained the same anyway, because we were all training on the same books, okay? So anyway, that's where that's going. I don't know where we want to approach it. I mean,
Tim, do you want us to do up a resolution?
Well, I honestly don't know where to go with it, to be honest with you. I talked to the OFM and I said, so what happens? So all they do is come back and say, well, how can we help? All right. Well, yeah, maybe we should. And then how can I help? Well, I need money. You know, like that's the bottom line.
Or we need the training center that you promised us.
Well, the training center, yeah. And Garrison Petawawa tried to put one together, okay? And CNL has been working at a training center for, got to be 10 years trying to get one together. And they just keep throwing hurdles in front of them, okay? So it's, yeah, like if they got the regional training center like they promised, well, that'd be fine, but they haven't done it, so.
Al?
Would it do any good to send a resolution from this municipality saying that whenever you supply us with a training center, then we will look at complying moving forward? And until you can tell us when we're going to get that training center, we're not going to comply.
Yeah, that may be the way to go, yeah.
Brian?
So you were talking $5,000 for that one scenario. What is the total cost and commitment or time required to certify?
Well,
one
the
person?
average volunteer is going to take about 2 years to get their 1001 and 1002. Now, okay, so, and we're training it every month, like sections of it. Like, So, but I can see it taking approximately that much time, because there's a lot of, I mean, they gotta put hours into it and so on and so forth. So there's 2 years. I would say 2 years, that's probably right, you know. I mean, a full-time may be a little bit different, but for a volunteer, like, how much time can you expect them to, like, they're putting 3 hours basically a month in, plus the time they're on call, you know, like, I mean, they're committed. And that's one of the things that's happening, is that I can see burnout, okay? Because, I mean, it's easy to have burnout. You know, like last year, we were burnt, all right? And it's taken some time to come back around, because when you get that many calls, and now then you got to do training and all this besides, and, you know, it's just, yeah, I don't think they quite realize.
Brett, you have a comment? Yeah, come up to the mic if you don't mind.
I can kind of speak to this to help Tim out as an outsider who's a volunteer for another municipality and recent enough to have to go through all this. So the level 1 section, the online portion alone took me 87 hours. The level 2 online was shorter, but they still averaged it out at 40 hours. And then we have to do the hazmat portion, which they tell us is only 8, but we haven't done it yet. And that's just the online portion. Like Tim said, we did similar. So to our regular training nights, we used those to our advantage and did some of the skills that were tested on. So it wasn't necessarily additional, but we did dedicated times for some of the larger skills on weekends and everything else too. So I would say to get your level 1, 2, and your hazmat, you're probably looking close to 500 hours. Like, it's pretty substantial.
Absolutely.
And you know, I mean, well, the testing alone is a 5-hour day for each one, between the skills and the written. So it adds up quick, and it is expensive for sure. I don't know long-term what the benefits will be. Like Tim said, they don't really give you a reason for why they're switching. I mean, the books are the same, updated based on years, but it's basically the same skills as what they were using 10, 15 years ago, which is why they were able to grandfather some people in. But that was it 10 years? I think if you'd been on the hall 10 years, was it 5? So, like I say, in Whitewater, I know we're losing a couple because they don't want to do it. They didn't hit the grandfathering time, and they just said, you know, been doing it long enough. We'll get some new guys in. So they're just, basically they've told us they're with us till 2026, and then they're leaving. And it is hard to recruit ones that'll stay. Like we had, if you get 30 recruits to sign up to try it, you might get 10 that stay. They realize it's more of a time commitment than they thought, you know.
Yeah.
But, so anyway, just
Yeah.
some comments if they mean
No,
anything.
appreciate it, Brett. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Wendy.
Thank you for sharing that, Brett. I've heard some of the numbers, and I didn't realize it was quite that high. And then some other points, if we did have a regional training center, then it wouldn't be just all those travel time and all the expenses of meals and all those other pieces that you mentioned. But most of these volunteers have full-time careers too, so it's a lot of extra to put on them, I think. And having to travel outside of our county is huge besides, because they're leaving their families, and it's a lot of extra time.
Well, and it's always on the weekends, okay? It's always done on the weekends, or that's when most of them are, or they have to take Friday off and Monday off, you know, so I mean, it's a real commitment, there's no doubt about it, so. But
Okay.
anyway, so that's problem number one. Information number one, we'll call it, okay? Number two, It's a good old radio system. So let me tell you where this all, I'll start and try and go over this without getting too deep, but last December, we got a letter from the OFM's office stating that if we were going to use a dispatching service that had dispatchers that weren't certified by July 1st, 2026, under 1061 it is for a firefighter's radio dispatch service, that if something went wrong, the fire chief and the township would be liable. Okay, so anyway, we all took it with a grain of salt and figured, well, the CAC Center will get trained. Well, I have a letter from the CAC Center stating that they have no intention of being trained to 1061 for firefighters, because they're trained for EMS and yeah, NFPA 1061, level 1 and 2. Because they're trained to their ambulance standards and so on and so forth. So, okay. So in the meantime, I did contact the OFM. I talked to her actually the other night and asked her, why would, if the Ontario government is going to make the OFM bring us up to standards by July 21st or July 1st, 2026, why is the OFM not making their Ministry of Health that's running these same radio things, making them come up to standards by July 1st, 2026? Okay? Well, it doesn't seem to have an answer. Okay, obviously she didn't. I mean, so she's going to go back and see if what they have for credentials would be parallel or where to put it from there. Okay, because what it does is it first of all, it puts the CAC Center way out in left field, because now if something happens after July 1st, 2026, okay, they're not even certified to dispatch us. All right. Anyway, that's number one. Okay. The other thing that's happening, I'm sure you've seen the news, some of the departments in the county are leaving the CAC Center and going to different dispatching services because of what has been going on for the last 20 years. They've had enough, okay? I don't know, I can't, right at this point in time, I can't say that it's a thing to do, because personally, it's too much. The difference in the money is almost it's at least double, okay, for what we pay a year to if we went to another service. It's a little over double, all right? But on the other side of the coin, if the people are not certified, how much liability are we willing to take, all right? That's where it goes. The other thing is that they've had enough and the CAC Center told us last year that like our contract is due in 2027, and they basically said that they probably won't be in the radio service after 2027, okay? That was last year. This year now they're saying, yes, we will be in the radio service, all right? But they're not giving us any idea of what's happening, or if they're gonna put more money into the system, or, I mean, as far as they're concerned, and I hate to put it this way, but we were basically told, your volunteer fire departments, you'll get what you get, okay? That's basically what we were told. And that came from the county, all right? Just want to make sure I don't miss anything here. So that's where the radio service is basically going. Now, I've put out some more feelers on what's going on and get some more information, because it doesn't matter. There's like the 4 or 5 that have left. I've talked to all of them, and it doesn't matter who you talk to. Everybody's got a different angle on what they really got. Okay, and I mean, it's because we're not radio people. We're firemen. Okay, so I'm trying to get some more information, because it's, but I'm just saying that's where the radio service is going, all right? We don't know where we are, all right? And they won't let us give them any input on what's going on at the county, none at all, okay? Well, they never come and say, what do you guys need or whatever. And one thing we were told at the meeting was that, at our chiefs meeting, by the people that put the system in there, that system is second to none, that piece that we bought. And it can be added to, we can just about add anything we want to it. But the fellow that looks after it, he says every time he goes to do something, he's told, leave it, okay? So, anyway.
So Tim, this dispatch, who do they answer to? Is it the county?
Yeah.
So why are we as a municipality not pushing back on the county and get the county to fix this problem? And Keith, maybe you can answer that maybe all our municipalities should be writing a letter to the county and saying, it's time for you to grow a set and fix this once and for all, because it's been going on for how many years now?
Well, it's been 20, I know Steve Knott, the former chief of Petawawa, was involved in it. Steve and I are pretty good friends. And he told me all the things, and like, it happened to the chief of Deep River. He was our latest communications person. And 10 minutes before the meeting was supposed to start, you got a meeting from the guy that's in charge of it and told him he wasn't coming. And that's been going on for 20 years. Steve Knott had the same problem. Every time you have a meeting, the guy that's supposed to be in charge of it, he'd cancel the meeting or he wouldn't show up, okay?
So the county of Renfrew is supposed to be representing all of the residents within the county of Renfrew, and it sounds like they're not representing everybody in the county of Renfrew. And I think we need, as a municipality, to push back and tell them to fix it.
The way I understand is the Ministry of Health who dictates the orders for the radio system, and the county just bills back to the municipalities. And now with these 4 or 5 other municipalities leaving, the cost is going to come back onto our own municipality.
Yeah, that's the other thing that we're concerned about, is that some of what was brought up at the meeting is, yeah. And I mean, I think there's probably 2 or 3 more that are going to jump ship because, so.
But the relationship is between the county and the Ministry of Health. And it's up to the county to stand up to the Ministry of Health and tell them what's going on. We as a municipality have no connection. It's the county of Renfrew who needs to push back and not just say, well, they're telling us what to do, we're not going to do anything about it. It's their responsibility. They're to represent us, and they're not representing us as far as I'm concerned.
I think, yeah.
So the contract is with the Ministry of Health and the county, and I feel that it is the county's job to advocate on behalf of all of the rest of us. And the other part of the problem is the towers that we have. They are very old. I know one of the towers was around 1970, is that correct?
Yeah,
The
but
Foymount Tower. So we're having issues with the towers too, and they're very old and aging, and we don't own the towers ourselves, right?
So maybe it's time that, through Keith, we ask the county to step up to the plate and say, what's going on here? And invite our chiefs over there to give them their side of the story, because they're not being listened to. And I think that's part of the problem. And I really think that needs to change moving forward, because our costs are going to go up, because it certainly sounds like the county is not doing the job they're supposed to do to represent all of us. And I think that's a big issue. Wendy?
I would like to see a presentation from all of the chiefs to the county. That's personally what I would like to see, because I don't understand it enough, and our chiefs do. And I think there needs to be a delegation from all the county chiefs to the county.
Has that not occurred, Tim? Have you not appeared
No,
before?
I've tried to bring that together, okay, and it's to be honest with you, our representative from the Fire Chiefs Association was there on the meeting we had Monday night, and that's what he said, what they had to do he's in the Belleville area, I think, and he said they had to just show up at a meeting one day, all of them, and say, okay, look, we want something done, okay? The problem is, I don't know if I could get them all. They all know the problem, but they're all, I don't know if they're not all rebels like I am, okay?
Maybe they need to be.
Yeah, well.
They just need one leader.
Yeah, I know, but I've
Well,
tried.
I guess what you need to do is get somebody to put some type of presentation together, ask the county for a delegation, and get somebody who is a good speaker to go and do the presentation of all the issues that you're having and what
Yeah.
the asks are from all of the chiefs. Then they wouldn't have to speak. One person could do it,
Yeah.
but get somebody to put some type of presentation together with all of the issues and then what the ask is moving forward in order to
Yeah.
get this thing back on the rails.
Yeah.
It's been an ongoing battle. It's just, there's a bunch of factors into this thing, so, you know, and Tim, I know, is kind of leading, but it's frustrating. And I mean, the county knows it needs new equipment, and then we went through that process of what that was gonna cost us. Obviously, I don't know where that is, and, well, we did pay
Well,
some
we
of
did
it.
get a new, some new equipment,
Yeah.
okay? Now we need to get the rest of the plug and plays to go with it,
Yeah,
sort of
no,
thing.
exactly.
Okay, that's basically, like what these guys are getting from from these other companies that are dispatching them, we could have it there too, okay? Because, I mean, the other thing is that I have a letter here from, well, this is from the CAC Center speaking about the towers. And I mean, it doesn't matter which dispatching system you go with, we're using the same towers, okay? And it's in writing, so it's, but I mean, I really, that's just another part of it, but the part of it is we gotta start, okay? Like, for instance, what happens July 1st, 2026, if none of them are certified? Now, if the OFM comes back and says, okay, we'll accept what they have, and I'm not saying what the OFM is inferior to what, I mean, a lot of those people there's nothing wrong with them on the dispatch, okay? But the problem is that, you know, it's like, I may be a good driver, but if I don't have a license, it doesn't matter whether I'm a good driver or not, okay? And I mean, these people are excellent people, but if they don't have that certificate, that 1061, well then, if something goes south, then they're not wrong, I am. I mean, not that I care, but I mean, I do care, but I mean, that's just the way it is. You know?
Well, we're here to support you
Yeah.
in which way and put a package together, help
Yeah.
you do it, and
Anyway,
I really think a group of you need to go to the county and get
Yeah.
this done once and for all.
Yeah.
I really do. And I'll certainly come as mayor, and I'm sure other mayors would support other fire chiefs as well.
Yeah. Okay, no, I appreciate that.
Tim and I did talk about this last year as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
And trying to get somebody to go, and he said that nobody was there really prepared to go and present the delegation. So, we're back to that.
Yeah, and like I've tried, I mean, I would try again, but I mean, it's just, some guys are just not the same drive as, they know there's a problem, but they just, I mean, it's like everything, you have a meeting and there's 20 people and 5 people do all the talking and, you know, I mean, nothing against them, that's just the way they are.
Three will do.
Yeah,
So,
80-20 rule. Yeah.
could a delegation of the mayors or NCAOs maybe do the same in support of fire?
Well, certainly that's the case, but the
Yeah.
problem is we need the expert on exactly what the issues are, like, so that's laid out fairly clearly. And then I'm sure the mayors could certainly, as long as each community is in favor of what we're doing, then obviously appear before council. No, I don't think we should be just letting the fire chiefs appear before county council. I think there's gotta be
That's
some
right.
political influence there too, and just
Okay.
state the case.
Let me work on that.
And something, Tim, that, you know, you can call a meeting, the fire chiefs and the mayors,
Yeah, that's.
and we can lead the way for it. Like, I'll help
Yeah.
you lead the way, and we'll get a package put together.
Okay.
Al?
Well, and is it possible that maybe Laurentian Valley could volunteer one of our staff to help put that package together? I think we got Chris Neff here that seems to be very good at putting presentations together. If he gets funneled the information, he can probably put a fairly good package together. And when you have that package together, it's just a case of going to present it, and then when there's questions, you have the professionals like Tim with you that can answer the questions that might be asked.
Okay, Tim?
Okay,
we'll
let
work
me,
on that.
let me work on that.
Okay.
Okay.
Got some good news?
Yeah, I do. I'm going to get my hip assessed next Friday. Yeah, that's good news. One other thing. Our big do is on Saturday at the park, at Stafford Park, and I'm looking for volunteers for the dunk tank. So anybody wants to come to the dunk tank?
It's not cold water, warm water.
No, the water's warm,
It's
yeah.
not the polar bear.
He's already texted me the other night saying, you're gonna be in the dunk tank, and I said, like, I'm the only one you asked on council, and he's like, well, I'm gonna bring it up on Tuesday. And he was telling me that I'm doing it.
Well, I know Betty's away, so
Just to add, in case people here don't know what the Big Do is. So it's the Emergency Protective Services United, it's called. So it's an event that has the paramedics, the police, and the fire. And it's kind of supposed to be a fun team building day. So they have different, Tim, I don't know what all the activities are, but.
There's different, like for instance, what they'll do is there's about 6 people on each team, and there'll be a couple of OPP officers and a couple paramedics and a couple firemen, okay? So one of the drills is 6 of them pull a truck, okay? So they're gonna pull, I don't know if we're gonna use a fire truck or one of the, maybe the township trucks, but they'll pull a truck. And then another drill is that you roll out hose and then you hook it up and then you run down and you hit the target and then there's about 6 different games and they time them all out, and then there's a winner, of course, but it's to build comradeship amongst the first responders. That's what it was put together for. And the money that's made goes to the food banks and Special Olympics, I believe, this year, yeah. So.
And it's at Stafford Park for location. And we want people to come and watch too. It's not just for those people.
Yeah.
They want the community people to come out and support and cheer them on, and so it's open to everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Keith, oh, you just volunteered for the dunk tank.
Sorry, no. You mentioned earlier the calls are about the same, so like you're looking at 96 calls to date, and that is on average?
It's not on average, it's average just compared to last year, okay? Last year, what did we have, 143 or 163? Last year was the most we've ever had. Our average calls used to be 117, okay? And since, well, last year they went crazy. And this year we're running about the same amount of calls as last year. The only difference is we're not running into the 2-day ones. I mean, we've had one major structure, but other than that, we've been very lucky, you know. Well, I shouldn't say, we did have a garage burn, but not like all those empty buildings we had last year. So, like the budget's more in line this year with the hours, I'll tell you that.
Betty?
Looking at the stats over the last few months, considering the summer we've had and the heat and the dry, we've done really, really well. The fire ban this year people seem to really realize that there was a fire ban. I think because everybody in Renfrew County went on a fire ban. And then, of course, we put the signs out, Mark and his crew put the signs out for us. That helped, it had to help, but no, it did make a difference, because, yeah, we were very, because it was dry, but anyway.
Hey, Tim, I think you're doing a great job.
Oh, thank you.
See you on Saturday.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does that mean you?
No, next Friday.
No, I'm in the opening ceremony, so I won't be dressed.
I think our skydiving counselor would be a good duck tank recipient.
I'm taking photographs. I'll be too busy.
Maybe our recreation officer could also be part of that.
Wendy?
Just before we move on, I just want to take a moment to thank our fire chief and Nevada. The two of them have been very instrumental in organizing this day on Saturday. There is a team of us that have been doing it, but honestly, they have done a bulk of the work. So
Great.
thank you to both of them.
Okay, thanks, Tim. Okay, animal report.
It's there for your information. I don't think there's like 2 months, I guess, there, but.
Questions, comments? Seeing none. Brett?
No,
No?
we're done with that.
Okay,
Kinda
we've already done the
skipped that one.
certificate, okay.
Yeah, once is enough.
Festival Hall?
We haven't had a meeting, but I believe there is one coming up in the next month or so. There's quite an extensive schedule of events going on. Doreen has been doing an excellent job with putting events on, so there's something going pretty much every month, so. But I will update once we have our meeting in the next little bit.
Good. So everything's going well?
Yeah.
As far as you know?
Yeah, everything seems to be going well. We were getting good attendance at the events. A lot of good variety of stuff going on, so,
Good.
yeah.
Public Library, Wendy.
So the minutes are attached. As you can see, we haven't met for a little bit over the summer months. We start back next week to regular business again. One thing I do want to highlight, even though we haven't formally met as a board, I know from talking to the CAO that we have had some issues over the summer at the library with attendance and some of the summer programs because of some of the homeless issues in the city. And it has affected attendance, and children that would normally walk to the library from home, we have parents that don't want them walking alone because of some ongoing issues, so that is very unfortunate. We have had some things dealt with, though, from the OPP, which is wonderful. There's a lot more security around the building now, with extra cameras in this last year. And we do have a new staff member in the last year that is a former police officer, which has helped, I think, with some of the issues inside. So that's kind of where we're at right now.
Okay, good. Okay, drinking water solution.
Basically, that's a report, it's quarterly in front of you, I believe. I don't know if Mark wants to add anything, but I think Brad's unfortunately away on training, so he's not here, but he said if there was any specific questions you could answer, but it's pretty self-explanatory from what I gather. Mark, I don't know if you want to flag anything.
Yeah, I think really nothing to add. The one comment that Brad did talk about the other day when we spoke about it was the amount of water we used is up compared to 2024. But that's just due to lawn watering, just due to the dry summer. So even though we do have a water restriction in effect, that a lot more people were watering lawns, than what they normally would be. So that was the one comment that he made.
Okay. Waste Garbage Center, we got our fall pickup this week. I think it's going well. Doesn't seem to be as much out as other years, or no?
No, yeah, it's been fairly quiet. We did get a few calls this morning. And the biggest, I guess, concern that we get is the truck went by and didn't pick up all of my materials. And that was the first call yesterday morning typically happens. So just a reminder to residents that there are multiple trucks. There's 4 different streams that they're collecting. So there will be several vehicles throughout the day. They will pick up on your collection day, but just that there will be several trucks, and it could be from first thing in the morning till later on in the afternoon by the time they're finished. So just to be cautious and aware of that.
And it's still, all the education you can do, calendars, it's a large item pickup.
Yes.
Yet you see so many small items at the end of the driveway. It's just-
Yeah, one thing that seemed to be new, it doesn't typically happen, is a large number of over bag limit tags from yesterday. So it seemed that people thought it was just excess garbage day. So instead of the 3 bag limit, we had a large number on our tagging sheet this morning of people who just put out numerous bags, just thinking it was a sort of extra collection day. So, and we hadn't seen that in the past. Sometimes, as Mayor Bennett said, it's different sizes of things or things that were too small, but it actually was a lot of extra bags of garbage went out. So we'll see how the week plays out, but that was something that was just different yesterday.
So Miller's definitely tagging the 4th and 5th bag or whatever and not picking it up?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's one thing we did note. I think sometimes because with the large item, there's multiple trucks going by and maybe they're not in communication and not maybe realizing that the last truck went by or it's not there. So sometimes large item collection items aren't getting tagged and making on our tagging sheet. So we're trying to work with Miller just so they're a bit more aware of the last truck by if there's something there to make sure someone gets that non-compliance tag on it, so it makes it easier when someone calls in and we actually have on the list why the item was left behind.
Okay, thank you. Other questions? Patty?
Mark, when it goes by, like after large garbage is over and you see these numerous toilet seats and vanities and building materials, do they get tagged as well?
Yeah, so, and that's sort of part of the confusion is if it's not tagged, then it's us following up and trying to figure out what it is. So, yeah, but it's on the municipality to go back out to those residents and give a notice or ask them to take their non-acceptable item back in again and dispose of it properly. Yeah, so if any of those do pop up in the next couple of weeks, if you just want to let staff know, and we can make our rounds and get some notices dropped off to them.
Okay, thanks, Mark. Community development. He's not here.
Chris is there.
Hello.
Oh, hello, Chris.
Hi, how's it going?
I thought you just snuck into the meeting here. I didn't see you.
Downtown
I did,
Thunder
I'm
Bay.
behind you, yeah.
Downtown Thunder Bay.
Downtown Thunder Bay. Is that where you are?
Yep. Yeah, I'm in Thunder Bay right now.
Right on. Okay.
Okay.
You're up.
So, my report's there for council to see for June, July, and August. I won't go through everything, but I picked a few highlights here. And then if there's any questions or anything, please feel free to ask me. The I Love LV Community Fair was a huge success with, I think, about 1,000 attendees, surprise guests, lots of families. It was amazing to see lots of families coming out and checking out this event. And so it was very well received. We had lots of good comments coming back from that, and as well from the business owners and everybody who participated. Business View magazine was another highlight of the summer, getting featured in the 14-page Business View magazine article that they did for us in July, which reached about 900,000 subscribers. So that was pretty exciting. If you haven't checked that out, I highly recommend that you take a read of it. Another big highlight, which is more recently, was the announcement for the Housing Enabling Water Systems Fund, which was on August 21st. We were joined by MPP Billy Deneau to announce grant funding for $570,312 for a new lifting station, which is significantly going to help the municipality with the works being undertaken there. So that's great news for us. And then the final one that I highlighted here was the newsletter, just because we did have to redo our plan for good reason. It's because we've actually outgrown the subscribers that we originally have in our original plan. So as of right now, we're at 2,277 contacts, which was about 578 when I started. So it's continuing to grow, and I think that's a lot to do with being at the trade shows and all the events that we were at. Getting people to sign up to our newsletter and see all the fun things that we have going on here in Laurentian Valley. Now, there's a ton of other stuff in there. I won't waste any more of your time going through that because you've likely already gone through that, but those are my highlights, and that's my report. If anyone has any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Chris, great job. I know you've had a lot of functions to attend to this summer. You and Nevada have been out there quite a bit, and I think you're representing Laurentian Valley very well, both of you, and I thank you for that. And yeah, enjoy Thunder Bay. Unless anybody else has any questions. Seeing none. Thanks, Chris.
Sleeping Giants, Sleeping Giants.
Yeah. Okay, take care.
Hey, take care.
Okay, then we got Nevada. Hi, Nevada.
Good evening. I just want to highlight a few things out of my report, mainly the capital projects that I worked on this summer that you guys approved in the budget. So most of them are completed. I think there's one left to do, but playground was resurfaced at Allison Fraser. We got some new exterior doors and a bathroom door at Stafford Park. Parking lot lines were repainted at Shady Nook, and the HVAC upgrade at Shady Nook, so a new air conditioner and a furnace was replaced there. Summer events, I highlighted a few. I just want to touch on mainly what's coming up. So mentioned today that the latest event is this Saturday. On top of just watching the competitors compete in the obstacle courses this weekend at the annual Emergency Protection Services United event, there's going to be a silent auction, raffles, lots of stuff for kids to do, kids obstacle course, bouncy castle. It's going to be a really fun event, barbecue. So hopefully the public will come out and support our emergency service workers. Next weekend, or the weekend after, we have the Fall Flavors Festival happening at Allison Fraser Rec Center. Cornhole tournament, handmade market, baking competitions, bouncy castle, beer, food, and lots of stuff for people to do. So I hope you come out and support the Allison Fraser Committee that puts on that event. Also coming up in early October is our spooky movie night. So we're teaming up once again with the City of Pembroke to put on this event. It's a beloved event in the community, over 200 cars every year. So we anticipate that type of attendance again. So the tickets will be, you have to have a ticket to get in, and you have to pre-register to get in. So the tickets will be put out for people to get at on September 22nd.
22nd?
Yeah. So we do have a Facebook event page, so the link's on there to get your tickets. Also want to highlight the Halloween at the Trail event. So this is a huge event that the Four Seasons Trail Committee puts on, and they are looking for volunteers. So it's a 4-night event. They need about 50 volunteers per night. So we've created a link to the township website for people to apply if they're interested. They're looking for scare actors, kid-friendly actors, parking attendants, setup, tear down, behind the scenes, and main gate attendants. So there's a little something for anyone to contribute if you like to set up, if you want to be in the show. So hopefully we get a lot of people in an easy form. Just go on our website, say that you're interested, and then somebody will reach out closer to the event. And I think that's all that I wanted to highlight in my report today. Oh,
Thanks again, Nevada.
actually, one more thing
Okay.
to do with the Four Seasons Trail Committee. They're also having an election on September 17th. So so there's information on our Facebook page about how to put in that you're interested in participating or becoming a member of their committee, or at least going for a position on their committee. So if you go to our Facebook page, I have it pinned at the top, how to get in touch with the chairman of the election, and hopefully get some more volunteers out to help with that group.
And I am the chairman of that. And actually, it's going well. We're getting some calls.
Are you?
So-
Good.
Or I am getting some calls. So
Yeah,
it's
good.
Thanks again, Nevada. I know, as I said earlier, you and Chris doing a great job, and you're really putting LV on the map out there. Man, oh man, there's so many activities going on, and you know, the night at Hughley's,
Oh, the
with
water and
150
dirt,
kids, the water and dirt. Oh my goodness, it was great to see. So, great job.
Great, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Friends of the Disabled.
I actually will forward you guys the stats, because I realized that I had my stats on my other email, not this email. But I can tell you that over the summer months, I was a little bit concerned with the new city transit system, that it may affect the handy bus. And I can tell you it has not. Our numbers just continue to grow, which is amazing. So I was hoping I'd actually have the numbers to show you, but I will share them with you all by email. So yeah, we're very happy about that it's really not affecting us. It's kind of a different clientele, and in some ways, we probably have gained even more in the last month, which is interesting. So it's wonderful.
I think also because of the parameter of where the city bus is going is limited to the city of Pembroke. It's not affecting LV residents.
Well, it's not a door-to-door service
Correct.
like the handy bus is. Like, there are different coordinates, so if you want to get the bus, you do have to go down maybe a couple of blocks to catch it. And so the people that use this, probably, it's not going to affect us because we offer true door-to-door service.
Yep, great. Good to see that they're continuing the ridership. Shady Nook?
Minutes are there from the last meeting. With the holiday, Shady Nook's having a meeting tonight as well, so I'm missing that one to get the update, but to be here. But yeah, the minutes are there if anybody has any questions. But things are going well. Big event there this weekend. Soccer went well. It's rolling along.
Okay, Allison Fraser.
I believe after the presentation
Yes,
that
I think-
Elizabeth gave earlier, I think that's covered.
Probably the same with Forest Lee and Pleasant View. Stafford, big weekend. What time are you going to be in the tank?
I'm gonna be volunteering. I'm gonna be very, very busy, so.
Okay. Four Seasons Trail, well, we've talked about that, and the big Halloween event next month, Mark. Got 4 nights, 16, 17, or 17, 18, 24, 25. Again, still looking for volunteers. It was huge last year, what, 2,000 people maybe, last year in the 4 nights?
No, about 8,000 over the
8,000.
4 nights.
Yeah.
Just shy of
2,000 a
8,000.
night, right?
Yeah, about 2,000 a night, yeah.
It's huge, yeah. Always run out of hot dogs. Okay, fit and feisty? Keith? Okay. County Council summary is there. Council acknowledgements, or did anybody have a question for Keith? Sorry.
Not for Keith, no, I just have a question. I did have a resident reach out to me asking about the noise bylaw. Do they contact OPP, or do we have a bylaw officer that addresses those noise bylaws?
Well, we have a noise bylaw, and obviously we can do it from here, but it depends on the noise. The noise, I mean, people think a party, the neighbor's having a party next door. That's not, our bylaw doesn't deal with that. That's disturbance of the peace. That's an OPP matter. Call them. We're not here at 11 o'clock looking for, so our bylaw is more like there's certainly industrial noises, actual noise on the street kind of thing where it's, on certain times it's 7 to 11, and then on weekends it's 9 to 11, I believe, or maybe it's 9 to 9. Anyway, whatever it is there, but there's some timings, but it depends on the noise itself. So if it's, like I said, if it's domestic noise of people playing music in the house, that's really not what we're doing. But if they're doing something that's affecting the neighbors, a machine running a generator or something like that, that'd be ours, kind of, that we would be taking.
And then they would just call the office here and somebody else would go?
Yeah, we'd either tell them, phone the police, or we'll go out and take a look, or Brett will write them a letter, or whatever the case is.
Okay, thank you.
Keith?
Just sharing that Renfrew County's having a municipal day on September the 24th from 3 in the afternoon till 7. And it's going to be touch a truck, paint a plow, all those little things that we had at our own place. So they have asked that we just circulate the information to the municipality and.
Okay, perfect. Today was the shovel ground for TMM. Keith, myself, and Alan, and Laurie, and Dean, and Brett, and Mark were there. It's so exciting to see. They're 80% out of 95 homes in their first stage are already sold, either to homeowners or developers. There's people coming from Southern Ontario that bought homes. The 3 owners of TMM were there. They're real estate consultants, they're media people, Kavanaugh people. There had to be over 20 of all their connections that are part of TMM development. And it's really cool. It's really neat. It's probably the biggest development we've seen in this area for a long time. And since they're so far along, they're already thinking of going to phase 2. It's amazing what they've done, as others will tell you today, how much work has been done by Kavanaugh in a short period of time. And they're saying by the end of November, the streets will be ready to go for the homes, and to be able to put the foundations in May. So they're gung-ho. I talked to one developer that has a number of homes, or a contractor, and he's gung-ho to get going on them in the spring. So we're gonna see a lot of homes being built, and I believe there's a park in stage 1 as well, Laurie. So I think we have some say on that park as well. So yeah, it's pretty exciting day for Laurentian Valley. And TMM had nothing to say but good things about our staff, the work that we've done with them, and I said today in a few words, the corroboration, the support that we got from the City of Pembroke with our new water and sewer agreement. They worked with our staff, worked with TMM to make it happen. So yeah, it's good times, for sure.
Just for just to follow up, the entitlement for the subdivision is to be called River Point subdivision. So that's the name of, so when you hear from that's that group. They've titled the subdivision River Point.
And one of the developers told us today that it's their plan to have 40 foundations in May of next year.
Yes. So their first. Oh, sorry, Brett, I thought you laughed. Merry Christmas.
I'm excited about it.
Can tell.
Dean will help you.
Yeah, Dean will help you.
Yeah, so it's good to see. Yeah, very impressive. They're a very well-organized company.
Yeah.
That, right, Laurie, they've done everything the way they're supposed to, and
Steve, you may want to mention just what they said about this subdivision in the province of Ontario.
yeah, they said it's probably one of the fastest-selling subdivisions in Ontario, and will probably be number one at the end of this year.
In 2025, it'll be the #1 subdivision in Ontario.
And not all local people.
No.
No. Some will be rentals, which is good, because our rental availability is probably less than 1% in this area, and they're gonna be brand-new homes for rent. So there's a whole various amount of different homes, ownership, rental units, et cetera, so, yeah.
They've already been approached by businesses in the mall that are thanking them, saying this is going to be huge for the mall. So the businesses are already starting to see what's coming and what it's going to do for their businesses.
They said that Kavanaugh, who's doing all the construction, once they've cleared the lands and they start laying pipes, they bring in 3 more crews to get it done by the end of November. So there's no fooling around here. They're hard at it. So just want to give you an update on that. Anything else, council?
No, that just goes with our motto, grow with us.
As Steve said, yeah.
Okay, we're not going to close, right?
No.
Motion to conclude?
Adjourn, yeah.
Okay, Wendy wants to close it? Brian?
Moved by Counselor Hewitt, second by Counselor Hughley, that the council and committee meeting of September 9th, 2025 be adjourned at 7:15 PM.
All in favor?